Show me the money.
Just looking good, but I think I'm taking too long.
Back to the spot for a Glock. I took a loss over floss, but still got a knock.
Money! Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that?
All right, show me the money. NFL picks for week number 8 are here on the podcast. Almost halfway through the NFL season. Joining me today to do the picks, a good friend of the podcast. Listen to Sky Guys. He chimes in there every once in a while as well. Nick D'Alessio is here. Nick, how are you?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be on the sports end of things for a change.
Yeah. Nice to see on the sports end of things here. Our football team not doing so hot. I admit, Sunday night was a little bit of a dual screen for me. I had the Jets on the computer, the Mets on the big screen. The Jet game, what a disaster that ended up being. It looked so good up 15-6. Like, okay, they figured it out. I texted one of my friends, like, oh, New York Packers might be a wagon, and then it all just fell apart.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually so I was working overnight that night.
Yeah.
So I started my shift right at halftime.
Yeah.
So I started my shift. I was like, all right, I'm feeling good. I couldn't watch the full game,
Yeah.
but then I checked the score, and then I was like, I'm gonna go on a break and watch the end of it. And boy, boy, do I wish I had the good memory of halftime. Yeah, it's not been an ideal season given what we thought we were going to be at the start of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I have to ask the question because obviously now this is 4 straight losses if they were 2-1. They're obviously doing all sorts of stuff. The coach is gone. We brought Devontae Adams in here. Like they got Hassan Reddick back in here, but feels like all the vibes are off here. I'll ask you this from what we've seen. Are the Jets cooked?
It sure feels like it. Yeah. I hate to think like that. And, I mean, you almost got to think, why would they bring in Devontae Adams? Yeah. Like, does Rodgers have another year left in him? Right. Cause if you're Adams, why would you come here if that isn't the case?
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel good. The first couple of games you give them like the benefit of the doubt, right? Cause you're like, well, they got to shake off the rust. They got to get used to each other. Then the Patriots game happened and we were like, man, we're in business. This is it. And then it's just, I don't know. The defensive line doesn't look good. They can't stop the run. It feels like it's over. I mean, it's technically it's not, but it sure feels like it is.
Yeah, the thing that also hurts too is that like Aaron Rodgers looks like he's 40, and that's not something that we were expecting going into the season. Figured that the line is going to be good. They're gonna get this Adams trade done at some point. He's here. They've had opportunities. They had that stretch of 3 games in a row where he had a chance to go down and win the game, and he lost all 3 of them with picks basically down the stretch here, and the missed field goal, the third one. But it's just got a feeling like even though they're throwing everything at the wall to try and make something stick, like it just feels like the vibes are way off, and like I feel like something is going to go horribly wrong here.
Well, I mean, I guess that's why they got rid of Saleh, right? Yeah. You think like something needs to change, and clearly there was a coaching issue because, I mean, how many penalties do they commit? How many times do they they just don't look like they're prepared for the game? And you would think that changing, getting rid of Saleh would maybe be the start of that. I don't know who you bring in. You look at a team like Denver, where at the start of the season, everybody's like, Denver's not going to be good. And like, they're kind of tough right now. And what's the difference between them and us? It's their coaching. I think it's a coaching issue that we got to figure out, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. And they got a game they should win on Sunday. They go to play the Patriots, rookie quarterback, who still no line. Gerard Mayo called them soft here last week after they got blown out in London by Jacksonville. And Jets favored by a touchdown here, but like this one feels like it's going to be a blowout win, or is it going to be one where they lose embarrassingly in the down the stretch? I don't see it's going any other way.
I if you didn't say it, I was going to be like, you know what? I would not be surprised if this comes down to the wire and we just barely squeak out a win or lose. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think this is a close game for a close win for the Jets. I feel like either they win by 20 or they lose on a last-second field goal. I don't think there's any in between with this game.
I feel exactly the same way, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, because this feels like it's either the Pats are going to mail this in because they are actually soft, or they give us the best ever of the season, which is not a spot you want to be when you've lost 4 in a row and you're trying to get Devontae Adams basically telling everybody, hey, like the energy in this room is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to see what happens here with the Jets this week, but we'll get to the business end of the situation here. We have our picks here. So our good friend, my good buddy Alan Austin stopped by last week to do the picks. So here's where we ended up here. So I'll share it with you because just so you can see it on your end of the screen here. We had Alan went 3-0 last week. He had the Chiefs as 1.5 dogs in the Super Bowl rematch. They ended up winning that game outright. He had the Colts laying the 3. It was dicey to go close. Texans plus 2.5 wins on the field goal cover by the Packers, but he was going to win outright. So 3-0 for Allen last week.
Wow. I was wondering going into this, how are you doing versus your guests? And looks like your guests are starting to catch up to you.
Yep. So I had a 1-2 leg last week. My win was the Eagles laying the 3 to the Saquon revenge spot. That was basically what happened. Pats plus 5.5 looked good for a half, and we know what happened there. And the Jets burned me twice, so I'm not going near the Jets again for a bit. So 1-2 last week for me.
Yeah. I mean, the picks looked good to me, but that's not how it always works out.
Yep. So on the year, the Challengers now are hot again. They're 11-10 over 500 for the first time. I'm 12-8-1, so I'm slowly sliding back. We got to try and get back on track. But Nick, as the guest, you can go first. Where are you going with pick number 1 here in week number 8?
Yeah, sure. So for my first pick, I'm going to take the Niners. I think, I know they're a little bit banged up, but I don't think the Cowboys are good. And I think even the Niners banged up at home should be able to take that for my first pick.
Yeah, laying the 4. This is a scary game to me because of how banged up San Francisco is here. This is one where I feel like I stay the hell away from this game because I don't know which Dallas side's going to show up either. So, brave man picking that game.
I like to make things a little interesting.
All right, so let's pick number 1. Where are you going to pick 2?
Pick number 2, I'm going to go with Miami. I'm going to bank on the fact that Tua comes back, and Tua being back, just business as usual. They put up a bunch of points. The offense looks good again. They're going to ride on that momentum. So I'm going to take Miami for my second pick.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot. Actually, it's 3.5 points for the Dolphins here. You get Tua back, which should be nice. People don't realize how bad the quarterbacking has been. The upgrade to him is going to be massive. Plus, you got the Cardinals coming off a big win on a short week, flying east, playing the early game. That's a recipe for a no-show spot for a young team. So I like that spot for you.
Yeah. And then for my third pick, there's no real rationale or reason or anything for this. Sometimes, you just look at the spreads and you're like, I'm just going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to take the Giants on Monday night. I don't think they're going to win, right? I do not think they're going to win, but I just have this feeling that they're going to make it interesting, and they're going to cover, what is it, 6.5 or 6? I think they're going to 6.5. I just have a feeling they're going to make it interesting, but Pittsburgh's going to take it in the end. But yeah, that's my. I probably shouldn't pick, but you know what? Let's go for it.
Yeah, that one for me. How the Giants score? That's my one question with that pick. I think the defense will play, but I don't know if the offense will make it.
No, that's why I say it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to win.
Yep.
But I think they're going to lose by not that much.
All right, so your picks are on the board now. Pick number 1. This is a team that's hot right now. I take the Bengals laying 2.5 at home against the Eagles on Sunday afternoon here. I think this is a spot where Philly has not been great. They've won 2 games the last 2 weeks. They barely beat the Browns, who are not playing very well, and they murder the Giants, who are not very good. Cincinnati is trending up, and I feel like this is a team that always kind of gets hot this time of the year. I think laying less than a field goal, they're home. I like the spot. Give me the Bengals laying the 2.5, pick 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is about the time of year where they start to turn around. Right? I feel like every year they always start off slow, and everybody asks that question: are the Bengals done? Are they for real? And then they turn it on. So would be a good time for them to do that.
Yeah, that's pick number 1 here. Pick number 2 on Sunday here. I'm going out to the West Coast for a 4:05 game. I'm taking the Seahawks, laying 4.5. I'm getting 3 at home against the Bills. Excuse me here. Seattle gonna rain on Sunday. There's gonna be a lot of half-inch of rain during this game. That's a big edge for the Seahawks, who have the bigger running game with Kenneth Walker here. Will mask the absence of DK Metcalf. I think the Bills flying west is not an easy spot for them, going the 12-man here. I think they've been playing well, but I think they're due for a letdown spot here. Seattle gets a big effort here. Seattle wins this game outright, so Give me the Seahawks getting 3 at home, as a home dog against the Bills.
That was actually, when I was looking at the spread, that was going to be my third pick.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to pick 3 like lower spreads. Like, I was like, I want to pick at least one that's at least 6. So that's why I didn't go with that one. But I like that pick a lot.
All right. Pick 2. Pick 3. The line does scare why it's so low considering the 2 teams involved, but I'll lay the 3.5 with the Packers against the Jags in Jacksonville here. I think Jacksonville coming back off London off the high. I think there's definitely trap potential here. I get why they're doing this because Green Bay's big division game next week against Detroit. This is a look-ahead spot potentially, but I think they're going to be locked in for this game. It's not a big number. They're clearly the better squad, so I'll lay the points here. I'll have faith that they don't fall into the trap. I'll take the Packers laying the 3.5 here. It's my last pick of the week.
Yeah, Jacksonville's one of those teams where it's like, I don't know if I trust them. It's hard to trust them, you know? Like, sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't look great. So I like that pick, too. There's a lot of interesting picks this week. That was one that I almost took also.
Yeah, and a week with a lot of big numbers. Usually we stayed away from most of those.
Yeah.
All right, so to reset the picks for the week, Nick has taken the 49ers laying 4 on Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys at home. The Dolphins laying 3.5 against Arizona, and Tua's return to action. The Giants getting 6.5 in Pittsburgh on Monday night. My picks, the Bengals laying 2.5 at home against the Eagles. The Seahawks, a home dog, getting 3 against the Buffalo Bills. And the Packers laying 3.5 in Jacksonville. Those are your picks for week 8 on the podcast. Coming up here next week here, we're going to bring in another member of the Sorry to Interrupt podcast. Sean Rowe is stopping by to do some picks and get a state of his Giants here next week as well. So I'm curious to see how Sean feels about it, the way that season is going for him.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll like my pick and the Giants will actually do something and maybe they'll actually turn out a win. But yeah, we'll see what goes on with that.
Yeah, we'll see, Nick. Thanks for all the time. Really appreciate it. People want to keep up with you on social media, some of your streams and stuff. How can they do that?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, if you want to follow my streams, go to twitch.tv/the recovery room. To pitch the Sky Guys a little bit. I just finished live Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm sure we'll talk about very soon. So, stay tuned for some more stuff on that.
Yeah, Sky Guys fans, Nick's going to pop by in a few weeks. We'll talk about the Outlaws experience. So make sure you tune out for that one. But check out Nick's streams otherwise. Nick, thanks for all the time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.